I've always had nice conversations with Ed.
Ed?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you want me to talk about?
What do you think about him?
I like him, he's a funny guy.
We talk about old movies like different people that play Dracula in movies, tells me jokes.
So I've known Ed over the years. We would screen vendors. We've done many things together.
He's a fellow artist, a pretty good one at that.
First thing I did was I sat down and I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I read those 4 books, and then after I did it, I said to myself, well, do you believe this? And I said, yep.
What does it say?
It says, well, you'll see it. It says Gary Graham, master muralist, Ed Monroe, assistant, right?
But you did most of it?
Well, we'll take a look at who did what here. Started making movies there first. Well, how close can you get with that thing, huh? Hi. Hi.
What happened?
Nothing, just they need to mop these floors in here more often. So Gary Graham approached myself, and we split the job half and half. I designed this side here, Gary designed the opposite side of the theater. My choice was to show the statues of Ramses up here. There are 4 of them. You see the leg of the first one way over here. And they're overlooking the valley here. There's the Nile River. There's the Egyptian gods with their cartouches on their shoulders. And I wanted the mural to open out into the Nile Valley. And way down at the other end is the Sphinx and the pyramids of Cheops. And at the very end, far off in the distance, is the town of Aswan. You know, there it is on the left, see it? Right there.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just say something right here first.
Okay. This mural was the idea of Gary Graham, myself. This mural was the idea of Gary Graham, myself, and the artist Lou Silva. See? Gary Graham, Ed Monroe, Lou Silva, and Lois Fisher. We're the artists that worked on this here. Gary was teaching a class out at Oakland City College, Laney College. And he got a group of us together to come up here. I drew up a design for this mural. And then after we got it approved by the Department of Transportation, by Caltrans, we came up here and started working. We worked 1 day a week for about 8 or 9 months. Must have taken 8, 9 months. About 5, 6, 7 artists every Thursday. That's what we did. The overall design was mine, so I had to do the water, almost everything above the water. This here is Gary's seashell. A little out of proportion, but he needed to do something big like everyone else, so he had to do a seashell nice and large. Now, one thing over the years, his students, when he came back to do the restoration in 2003, he had other students who came and added, all these extra fish got added by his students. Now, here's something interesting, where I originally painted this little fish, and somebody came along and repainted it. It's like interesting to see that. Now, it was my idea to have a school of barracuda swimming through these ridges on this wall here. I thought I could do something with the ridges on the wall by doing a school of barracuda shooting through the middle of them. Now, here's Lou Silva's whale. Now, this thing, you had to draw it, run across the street to make sure your proportions were right, and come back over and draw some more. then run across the street and make sure your proportions were right, then come back over and draw some more. This looks awfully nice here. Look at that. Don't know who did that. Probably not Gary. Okay. Now here we are at the end. Fish, I don't know who did these fish, but I can tell you the city of San Francisco up there, that was me.
All right. I think that was good.
I think it's good. Let's go. Well, I could show you my storage room.
Yeah.
It's got paintings. It's got all my costumes in there. The idea is, of course, I go to these big costume events, and they're science fiction, you know? And I love science fiction. I read science fiction all the time. I like to do science fiction art. And so one year I decided I wanted to do a really great costume that was going to be something like a giant puppet. Can you see it?
Where is it?
Look, first of all, take your sunglasses off. Get in this sun and look straight down in the hole.
Oh, I see.
Look there, watch. Got it? Now watch this. See it? Can you get that? The mouth opening and closing down there? Is that sickening or what? Huh? It's a sculpture, see? Now watch this. Here. Watch. Let's see if we can do this. Watch out, look. Okay. All right. You can say no. The bartender saw my ignition switch here. He said, okay. He says, I'll serve you, but don't start anything. Count Dracula and Buffy the Vampire Slayer went to see a marriage counselor.
It's about a stake in it.
Yeah, she had a stake in the relationship. Felt she'd take another stab at it. This is my painting of the man. It was done around 1984. I had done a pen and ink drawing of it about 3 years earlier. And I stood down there in the corner right near Dwight Way looking up the street. So this is the place where I was standing when I did that painting in 1984. This is the view. It's very different now, as you can see. The world keeps changing. The trees grow. Stores go out of business. New businesses take over. Amen.
Hey, Eddie, how goes?
There it is right there. You go ahead and look at it. There's the picture. Art, I started drawing when I was 6. I went to military school. As soon as I got a pencil and paper, and I started to write my name and everything else, I guess because I was in this military school and they had these TV, and we'd watch cowboy movies and cowboy TV shows and things like that, cowboys and Indians. So I started drawing cowboys and Indians. It's the first thing I started drawing, which meant that I had to start drawing horses. So when I was 6 years old, I started wanting to figure out how the horse looked, how those back legs could go down and back and back and down like that. Figuring out those horses' back legs, and then the front legs, and then the general all-around shape. So there's Reagan and Nancy with mohawks, right? Some of these were really bad, you know.
So what's this have to do with the street fair?
Well, I met Marty Schiffenbauer. This was his idea to come up with this ridiculous book. And he got me to do the drawings for it, right? Because he was Marty Schiffenbauer and he has a great sense of humor. So I did the drawings, and then because I did that for him, we went to dinner one night in North Beach, and like Marty Schiffenbauer he does stuff in Berkeley with politics and everything, and he had sort of had done something that a lot of the people downtown at City Hall liked him, and he was very popular with them. And he came and told me, he says, they'll let me have anything. He says, I could get something for you. And I said, well, why don't you get me the right to close Telegraph Avenue for 2 weeks in December?
In the 80s, late 70s, we organized the first street fairs at Christmas. We approached the city and we got the permits, and we had to come up with a bunch of money, and we organized the first street fair.
Look, wait till they call, wait till I see them, and I'll talk to them about it, whether it can be moved or not, okay? Had on tennis shoes, I was just out enjoying myself. But here were these guys filling up bags of cement, right? And soaking them in buckets of water So I went over to my house, changed into my work clothes, my heavy boots and everything, came back over here, ended up spending a month working on this thing.
Did you have the same Jack Nicholson look like you have right now?
Yeah. Kind of thing that happened where all these different people came together. Put your dope in there and you could hit out of this end. But over the years, people have just chipped that damn thing away.
Oh, that's fucked.
Okay? There's still a tunnel there. You could get your rod in here,
there's
put your
another-
mouth over here. It'll still hit.
They were tired of his high school
Yeah.
kids using it.
No,
Yeah.
but there's another
But
one
see,
over here.
you have to stick to, no. If you
There
can
is.
find another one, show it to me. Wait a
Hey,
minute.
there's another one over there.
Yeah? Come on, show it to me.
Ed Monroe. I've always observed and appreciated Ed's paintings that he's done with fine detail of, a lot of images from the Bay Area, the Golden Gate Bridge, the San Francisco, the East Bay, UC Berkeley. He did a nice painting of several vendors out here, including myself, during one of the street fairs we had.
It's all wet. Just take your brush, go like that, up and down, blend right in real easy. You could do it in like half hour. Well, I'm just a painter.